वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यम् श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथस्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यम् तं तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। अपारकरुणा सिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणम् श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम्। यत्कृपालेशमात्रेण पुमान् पूर्णः प्रजायते तं वन्दे ब्रह्मविद्धुर्यं सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरम्। संसारसागरनिमग्नजनोद्विधीर्षुः यो वातरच्छिवनृसिंहगुरुच्छलेन व्याढ्यान्धकारहरणं करुणासमुद्रम् तं दक्षिणास्य मनिषं हृदि भावयामि। तदात्मध्याननिरतं विषयेभ्यः पराङ्मुखम् नौमि शास्त्रेषु निष्णातं चन्द्रशेखरभारतीम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारम् प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सर्ववेदान्तसिद्धान्तगोचरम् तमगोचरम्
वेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरं तमोचरम्
गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्।
गोविन्दं
गोविन्दं
गिरितं
परमानन्दं
परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं
सद्गुरुं
प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्
प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्।
ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्येत्येवं रूपो विनिश्चयः
ब्रह्म
ब्रह्म
सत्यं
सत्यं
जगन्मिथ्येत्येयं
जगन्मिथ्येत्येवं
रूपो
रूपो
विनिश्चयः।
विनिश्चयः
सोऽयं नित्यवस्तु विवेकः समुदाहृतः
सोऽयं
सोऽयं नित्यानित्यवस्तु विवेकः
नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः
समुदाहृतः।
समुदाहृतः
चत्वारि साधनानि कथितानि मनीषिभिः तेषां साधनानां मध्ये प्रथमः आदौ आदौ नित्यानित्यवस्तु विवेकः इहामुत्र बलबोधविरागः तदनन्तरं क्षमादिषट्कसम्पत्तिः मुमुक्षुत्वं च इति उक्तं तत्रापि नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः कः इति पृच्छे ब्रह्मसत्यं जगन्मिथ्या इति निश्चयः एवं रूपः विनिश्चयः नित्यानित्यवस्तुविवेकः four sadhanas were talked about by the wise people. These sadhanas, the presence of which these sadhanas, jnanam will happen. There will be accomplishment of jnanam and therefore moksha. The absence of which there will not be jnanam and therefore moksha is also not possible. Therefore, these sadhanas are indispensable. Sadhanani. These four put together is called sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. Fourfold qualification. The first one is Vivekaha. The sequence also is important. Vivekaha first, Vivekat Vairagya, then Vairagya Samadhi Shatka Sampatti, finally Mokshutva. The order Krama is also important. Acharya, that he gave the reason why, why this order, which we saw in Vyakya. And Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha, we saw in the last class, we completed the Shloka. That which is Nityam is different from Anityam because Nityam is that which is there forever, doesn't change time, doesn't change with place, doesn't change because it is not an object, it's not a Vishaya. Anitya is opposite. It is subject to time, it is subject to place, it is subject to all changes. So therefore, we classify the whole set of things into two, Nitya and Anitya. There is only one Nityam, Nitya Vastu, Brahma. Brahma Nityam, and that is Brahma Satyam. That is the truth, that is Nityam. Tadanyata Sarvam. Other than that, everything is Anitya, Nitya. The importance of using the word Nitya instead of Nitya also we saw. If Anitya is used, still people would have gone after that. Let it be Anitya. I want to enjoy Anitya, Anitya Sukham. I want to have that Anitya Vastu. I want to have, enjoy the pleasures, the objects which are impermanent. Knowingly, people go after. But saying Mithya, when truth is revealed, it is not real. It is like swapna, it's like a dream, like a mirage water. It is due to Brahma, the confusion of the mind. Mind doesn't have clarity. Mind doesn't see the things as they are. It is Mithya. Mithya is there is some superimposition. You overload a thing with your desires. You color the thing as you as per your desires and look upon it. It's called atasmin tadbuddhi, adhyaropaha, in other words. Adhyaropaha. So therefore it is not real. Sarpa bhutaya rajau sarparopavat vastuni avastu aropaha adhyaropaha. This is what adhyaropa in Vedanta Sara. Clean definition. There are only two things, vastu and avastu. Sachit ananda, anandam advayam brahma vastu. Ajnanadi sakala jada samugaha vastu. There are only two things, vastu and avastu. Vastu is Brahma, Ishvara, which is Sat, Chit, Ananda, Advayam, non-dual. That is Satyam. Everything is avastu, not avastu, asatyam. That which is not a snake, asarpa bhutaya, that is the rope. Rope is that which is not a snake. On the rope you superimpose snake. Asarpa bhutayam rajavu sarpa aropaha. Overload, you not overload, you load. You load the snake on the rope, which is not a snake. The rope is loaded with the notion of snake. The rope, which is not a snake, is loaded with the notion of snake. It is notion, wrong notion, ajnanam. So ajnanam is notional. The notional ajnanam has to be knocked off by the right knowledge. Wrong notion, wrong knowledge. To be replaced by the right knowledge. So, therefore, knowledge, therefore Viveka is required. Therefore, what is real, what is not real, that knowledge is important. That is why the word Mithya is. So, therefore, clear distinction and understanding of the things as they are. And how many Mithyas, how many permanent things are there? There cannot be many permanent things. Logically, also, it cannot be. There can be only one which is permanent. That should be the Adhara, that should be the basis. And all other things which are impermanent as its existence based on that one permanent thing. In the absence of that, there cannot be anything. So that is Satyam. That cannot come and go. It cannot arrive, it cannot depart. That is there all in all three periods of time. Therefore, it is called Sat. Therefore, Satyam, not subject to time. Nitya. Other word is Nitya, not subject to time. Therefore, there is only one, which is Satyam, which is Brahma. And everything else is Nitya. Iti Vinishchayaha. Iti Vinishchayaha, clear Vinishchayaha also, the Acharya used deliberately. Nishchaya. Nishchaya, I could have said Nishchaya. Brahmanya Jnana Jnana anaskanditattvam muktam. It is not shaken by knowledge which is not shaken by any other knowledge which which cannot pramanya. Any other means of knowledge which cannot, any other knowledge cannot which cannot shake this conviction. Therefore, vinishchayaha. So therefore, nitya vastu vivekaha. Having said nitya vastu vivekaha defined. Now the next one is vairagya, viragaha. Vivekam nirupya, vairagyam nirupayati, tat vairagyam iti. After nirupya, after presenting, after nirupanam, ascertaining what viveka is. So vairagya is ascertained by the acharya. Tad vairagyam. The shloka begins with Tad vairagyam iti. That is the next shloka. Shloka number 21. Let us read. Tad vairagyam jugupsaya darshana shravanativihi.
तद्वैराग्यं जुगुप्साया दर्शनश्रवणादिभिः
Dehadi brahma paryante hyavidye bhogyavastuni.
देहादिब्रह्मपर्यन्ते ज्ञानित्ये भोग्यवस्तुनि.
Vairagya should culminate in Viveka should culminate in Vairagya. You can't stop with Viveka. The result of Viveka is Vairagya. So Tad Vairagyam, there is another reading also. Instead of Jugupsa, Jihasa. Tad Vairagyam Jihasa. Jugupsa is, we have seen in our Vyakaranam class, Guptich Kidbyas son. Jugupsa. Guptich Kidbyas son. The son Pratyanta Guptatuhu. Guptatoho Rupam. Jugupsa. Then Jugupsa. Strilinge Jugupsa. Jugupsa Jugupsa meaning we saw that Guptich the three dhatus, we in particular this form has a meaning of hatred, despise, the innocence of this. That's why dispassion we say. There is no passion, there is aversion, jugupsa. The meaning of the word jugupsa is aversion. It is not a desiderative word. Another part of Veda is that I said jihasa. In some books, jihasa is that is desiderative. The word is derived by adding the san pratyaya to the dhatu, ha dhatu, oha tyage. Ha means oha is a dhatu, it's a verbal root. Oha tyage, in the sense of giving up. From that word, adding san pratyaya, we get the form jihasa. With a little knowledge you can understand, knowledge of Sanskritam. Isa mumuksha. Similarly, jihasa. Jugupsa also is, but it is some different. It is not desiderative. Whereas jihasa is desiderative. Another reading, jihasa. Hatum icha, the desire to give up. Jihasa. Because after having known the nitya, what is nitya and what are What is Nitya and what are Anityas? Other than Nitya, everything is Anitya. After having clearly ascertained, then what happens? Then naturally there will be the desire, there will be the intention, there will be the propensity to give up those which are not Nitya. They are Nitya, therefore who will go after that? An intelligent person will not go after those things which are not permanent, ephemeral. This is called really intelligence. Intelligence is that after having known the, the objects are anitya, the objects of pleasure, anything, not only objects, even relations, situations, the- and the pleasures which are enjoyable even in the other loka, all these are anitya. They are not going to be there forever. Svabhava is to change every moment. Continuous change is its svabhava. You also change and they also change. You also change means not Atma. Atma doesn't change, but body, mind, senses continue to change, and the objects also, the objects of enjoyment, Bhoga Vastus, they also change. So therefore, there is interaction between two changing things. So therefore, between the two changing things, how can there be a permanent experience of Sukham? Not possible. You also change and the objects also change. You, your perception, your desire also changes with regard to the same object. That object what you loved, now it is no more an object of love. In fact, you hate. That has become an object of hatred, as we see in our relationships. As Swamiji also jokingly says, I love you to start with. Then after some time, I allow you. I allow you means I allow you to go away from my life. So the person being the same, you also being the same. So there is a change for Anitya. So therefore, intelligence is understanding those which are not Nitya, that has to be given up. Having known that they are not Nitya, they are not permanent, they should be given up. The giving up is more emphasized on Vairagya. After giving up those which are Anityas, those which are not permanent, what you don't give up, that alone you must be having, or that alone you must at least be, you must be pursuing after. What is that? That is Brahma, Bhagavan, Ishvara. So therefore, that is what intelligence is. Real intelligence is that. Therefore, intelligence is accepting or having the buddhi, having the necessary preparedness to accept the fact that things are perishable. Things are perishable, subject to change. So preparedness to accept the change, the perishables. That is what intelligence is. They are going to be lost in time. Everything. Everything in the world is going to be lost in time. Therefore, make oneself ready for such losses. That is vairagyam. That is intelligent. But that is what intelligent living is. So anitya bhoga vastuni. Anitya bhoga vastuni. Bhoga vastu, the objects of pleasure with regard to them, and they are anitya. Anitya bhoga vastuni. What are those? Dehadi Brahma Paryantam, starting from the immediate thing which is our body. Body is that is the immediate thing. Idam Shariram, this is this body, starting from this body consciousness is so intense, starting from that onwards, extending up to Brahma. Here Brahma is different. Here Brahma is not Sachidananda Brahma. Dehadi Brahma Pariyantam. Brahma is Brahmaji or Hiranyagarbha. Brahma is the Brahmaji, you can take Brahmaji, Chaturmukha Brahma, who is the creator, the Prajapati of this Srishti, creation. There must be a creator. Who is the creator? Brahmaji. In Purana, it is presented as Brahmaji having four faces, four-faced Brahmaji. So Brahma Padavi, see Brahma is also that, it's a Padavi, it's a designation. Brahmaji, the post, like CM post, PM post. It is also a post. So the one who is currently occupying the post, that person will go away after this kalpa, this speech, and in the next one another person will come. But it is not immediate, because Brahmaji also, they live for their period of being the period of occupying that office is 100 years. 100 years of Brahmaji's life, not our life. 100 years of Brahmaji is so many thousands of years. Like we calculate the distance of stars and etc. in light years. Similarly, Brahmaji's life is so huge. So, like 100 years means 100 years of not human life. 100 years, as we saw it before, I think I told these four yuga, Chatur yuga. Chatur yuga, Kali yuga is that one which has got 4,32,000 years. Kali yuga has got 4,32,000 years. And all the four yugas, one Chatur yuga put together, this 43,20,000 years. That is one Chatur yuga. One day of Brahmaji is 2,000 Chatur yuga. One Chatur yuga is 43,20,000 years. One Chatur yuga. One day of Brahmaji is 2,000 Chatur yuga. Like that, Brahmaji will live for 100 years. So therefore, it is, in terms of human life, compared with human life, it is infinite. It is relatively immortal, but still mortal. Relatively only immortal. So, up to that Brahmaji, who is the creator of this Jagat, starting from Deha, my body, this body makes its contest, up to Brahmaji, everything is Anitya, everything is impermanent. Even if by some upasana, tapas, etc., if you are offered the designation of Brahmaji, you must understand that is also subject to departure. It is also will go away in time. It is impermanent. So therefore, to create disinterest even for the Brahma Padavi, here Acharya says Brahma Pariyantam. Even though it is relatively huge and immortal, but still it is subject to go away. Therefore, Deha the Brahma Pariyantam, up to the body, up to the Brahma, Prajapati. Prajapati is also a Jiva, exalted Jiva. A Jiva who has gained that position by its karma pala. Result of karma. Every karma has got its result. But maybe that particular jiva has done some special karma and therefore occupied the designation of karma padavi, Brahmaji. Up to that bhogya vastuni, anitya iti, nitya. They are anitya. They are subject to change, anitya. That one has to see and have the desire to give up. or one must be dispassionate with regard to those things. How? Darshana Shravana Dibihi. Darshana is seeing, by seeing means by being alert to, by seeing in the world, by Darshana by our Anubhava, Darshana by our perceptions. It is our perception that things change continuously. Or Shravanena, by listening to the Shastra, Adipadat, by Anumana, by logic also. One may argue, maybe the pleasures what are obtained in this loka are permanent or impermanent. Maybe the, the pleasures which are gained in Swargaloka are permanent. Therefore, why not I aspire for going to Swargaloka? Shastra says, therefore, we have to accept Swargaloka is there. The only thing is we say that even the Swargaloka is not permanent. And there is a logic also why we say that. Unlike other religions, we don't say Swarga is permanent, hell is permanent. If both are permanent, how can there be two permanent? It is going to be permanent. If hell is going to be permanent, the same hell will become, you will be slowly accustomed to that hell. Slowly the hell also will start liking it. Hell will not be a hell anymore. You will know the importance of shade only when you are in the hot sun. So therefore always there will be dvandva, pairs of opposites, Sukha, Dukkha, Pita, Ushna. Similarly, hell and heaven, they cannot be permanent. If a person is put into hell forever, he will continue to live in a revel and will be accustomed to hell only. So hell is not a hell anymore. Similarly, heaven also. Heaven will not be heaven anymore because the same thing is going to enjoy and it is going to create monotony. You will develop disinterest for heaven. So therefore, neither hell nor heaven is permanent. Maybe permanent in other religions, but we don't accept. And we have a logic also to say that hell or heaven, whatever it may be, person goes to that loka based on his karma, based on the result of his karma. Whatever karma he has done in this life or Janma before, the result of the karma he encashes in the form of pleasures in Purgaloka, the form of pain in Narakaloka. So we give the name Swarga, Naraka. But that also not permanent. Tine Punye Bhaktaloka Mishanti. From Swargaloka he falls back to the Prithvi, the Bhuloka, after spending his punya, after spending our money on a holiday trip. Again, we have to come back, earn money. Same thing here also. Chine punye. Similarly, pape also. Chiye. Martyaloka mishanti. After exhausting all the papa, he comes back to Bhuloka. Again, he starts Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jaranam, starts working again, earn karma, karma pala, and therefore takes janma. This is what samsara is. This is logical. So, Sargaloka, the place which you reach after Maranam, that place it is reached. Therefore, that as it is here, so also must be. As the things are impermanent here, so also the things must be impermanent. Only thing is that you don't, you have a special body, special sense organs, you will be enjoying, but not forever. Sargaloka, that's why Sargaloka is described in Shastra as where you don't grow old, you don't feel hunger, so you will have superior sense organs or sense objects, you enjoy that. But how long? It's also subject to time. After that, your capital, with whatever capital you have got. After that, you have to come back to Prithvi. It's logical, but that cannot be permanent. So, therefore, even Brahma Padavi also, it is not permanent, even though if it is gone, relatively, it is not permanent. It is aprekshika nityatva. There are two, in our Shastra, they say there are two types of nityatva, the status of being permanent. One is atyantika nityatvam, that which is permanent means permanent, ever permanent. ever it is as it is. Doesn't change. Other one is apekshika, nityatvam. Relatively long, relatively permanent. Like Brahmaji, who lives for 100 years, his calendar, not our calendar. But still it is, but still his lifespan is limited. Even though 100 years, compared to human years, it is so vast, big. You cannot count the number of zeros after that number, numeral. But still it is limited only. It is, Brahmaji is mortal only. It's not immortal. Therefore, starting from Dega up to that Brahma, which is the highest thing one can obtain, Jiva can gain, with regard to that, one must have jigupsa or jihasa. One must develop disinterest or one must have the desire to give up. Desire to give up means desire, the pursuit must be given up. By darshana, by seeing, understanding, logically, rationally, let you be convinced by seeing or by hearing the Shastrams or the Pravachana of the wise people, or think about it by Anumana, etc. That is called Vairagyam. Cultivating dispassion for things which are subject to change, starting from the body up to Brahma. That is called Vairagyam. Acharya beautifully defines what Vairagyam. The Vairagyam, therefore, the result of Viveka. The Viveka is not the Vairagyam, the Vairagyam is not real Vairagyam. So Vairagyam follows the Viveka. None of Viveka is this Vairagyam. Tad Vairagyam. Viragastya Bhavaha Vairagyam. Now the Vyakyanam Acharya. Vyakyanam we will see. Aigika Dehadi Bhogya Vastunaha Darshanena. Amushmika Divya Dehadi Bhogya Vastunaha Shravanena Adipadena. Shravanena. Adipadena Drishtajati Yasya Shutajati Yasya Anumanena. So Aigika means here in this loka. Degadi Bhogya Vastunaha, Deha, body, etc. Those are the objects of enjoyment, or the objects are enjoyed through Deha, etc. So Degadi Bhogya Vastunaha, Deha, etc. These are Bhogya Vastu. Darshanena, by seeing by our perception, Darshanena. And what about the Bhogya Vastus, the conditions of the Bhogya Vastus which are obtained in Amushvika, the other loka, Divya, which is, we get where you have Divya Deha, not this Deha, which is subject to all sorts of changes and finally become old, it is decrepit, and then die a horrible death, this Sharira. You don't know what sort of end will come. But there, Amushvika, the other loka, the Deha is Divya Deha, the divine body, very subtle body, very body, assuming that body, you will not feel hunger, you will not have old age also. Jara Mrityu Asti in Kathopanishad, the Chiketa says that loka where there is no pipasa, there is no jara, there is no old age, there is no hunger, there is no thirst. Therefore, the Divya Dehadi, Yogya Vastunaha. Kathopanishad, when Nachiketa was offered even this, he just dismissed all this because he knows these are all. Even though Nachiketa says, even though you may not be there, that is addressing Yamadharmaraja. Yamadharmaraja stands for Mrityu. Even though you may not be there, but still that is also impermanent. The Shastram says Therefore, Shravanena, by Shravanam, listening to the Shastra, Amushmika Divya, compared to Bhuloka, this Dehadi, that is there, this other Loka, Sarga Loka, you have Divya Deha, the body which is superior, like it is divine. Divya Dehadi Bhogya Vastunaha, and Bhogya Vastus are also Divya, body of also Divya, but still, they are also impermanent only. Therefore, the knowledge of that which is gained by Shravanam, by listening to the Shastram, Adipadena Adipadat is a Shravana, Darshana Shravanadivihi. By Adipada, etc., Adivint, etc. Drishtajatiyasya Shutajatiyasya Anumanena. By Adipada, by Drishtajatiyasya, by seeing, by Shuta, by listening, and applying our Anumana inference, one can come to the understanding that they are also impermanent. So Darshana, Shravanadi, Adipada, Anumana, Ityadi, Vihi, Avagantum Shakite, Bhogya, Vastuni, Dehadi Bhogya Vastuni, Anityani, they are all impermanent. Anubhuyamana Sharira Prabhuti, Brahma, Brahmanena, Brahmanena, Chatavarsha, Jivi Chaturdasha Bhuvanadipati, Avachedaka Hiranyagarbha Sharira Paryantam, Tasmin, Sarvasmin, Bhogya Vastuni, Anitya Mityabhute, Yajagupsa. Starting from this Anubhuya Sharira, the Sharira which is experienced by us, Sharira, etc., Sharira, mind, sense organs, etc., up to Brahmananena, Brahmanam, Brahmaji is referred to Tadita work. So Brahmaji, who lives for Shatavarsha, 100 years, not our year, 100 years. Shatavarsha Jivi. And he is the Lord of Chaturdasha Bhuvanani, all the 14 lokas. Bhugu, Bhuvaha, Subaha, Maha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyaloka, and only the 7 lokas down below. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Nahatala, Patala. Is 7 lokas down. All the 4 lokas, 14 lokas. He is a Adipati, he is a Raja, he is a king, he is a ruler. But still he is also Avachedaka, Hiranyagarbha. He is called Hiranyagarbha, technically. Hiranyagarbha, with a technical name. He is all knowledge. He is omniscient because he is a Srishtikarta. He is the one who created this Jagat. Bhagavan has ordained the job of creation to this person, Brahmaji, who lives for 100 years and rules rules over all the 14 lokas. The body, what he has, up to that Sharira Paryantam, Hiranyagarbha Sharira Paryantam, Sarvasmin Bhogya Vastuni, with regard to all the Bhogya Vastu, objects of enjoyment, Anitya Mitya Bhute. They are Anitya and they are Mitya. They are Mithya, they are not permanent. Mithya, they are not real. The Ya Jigupsa, the dispassion, the disinterest, the dislike, aversion, or Jihasa, or the desire to give up, the pursuit of going after that. Kadapi Idrisha Padartha Sambandha Mabhu iti. Never let me have connection with such things at all. That dispassion, that is called Vairagya. Like how he says, Kaka Kakavishtaayam iva asagya buddhi tad vairagyam. Like you have aversion for the excrement of a crow. Brahmadistamba paryantam vairagyam vishayeshvano ataiva kakavishtaayam vairagyam taddi nirmalam. Shloka is there in Aparokshanubhuti. Brahmadistamba paryantam, the same idea. Vairagyam is there like how? Like you have aversion for the excrement of a crow. So too you must have aversion for the enjoyments of these things, starting from the body, this body, the current body, up to the Brahma, up to the Brahma, Hiranyagarbha Shariram. Manushya Shariram Arabhya Hiranyagarbha Sharira Paryantam. This jihasa, this jugupsa, is what is called Vairagyam. Manushya Shariram is obtained by the mixture of Papa and Punya. Hiranyagarbha Shariram is obtained only by pure merits. You cannot bribe and get that padavi, not possible. It is only by Punyam. Even by Punyam, you gain, it is Anitya only. It is, instead of wasting time on gaining Punya and getting that Hiranyagarbha Shariram, could have opted for Jnanam and become free. Therefore, Vairagyam is required. Asagya Buddhihi, Kakavishtaya. Asagya Buddhihi is the Buddhi which is not able to Asagya stand, not able to accept Asagya, like your aversion you have for Kakavishta. So too you have to reject, dismiss it, dismiss all these Bhogavastus. And the next line, Shaityam hi yatsa prakritir jalasya itivat videya pradhanyat napumsaka nirdeshaha taditi. This is a grammatical point, Acharya says here. Shloka, the Acharya defines Vairagyam, Ya Jugupsa, Tad Vairagyam. Can see Yat and Tad Samantha. When Yat Shabda is there, correspondingly, Tad Shabda will be there. In grammar, we are saying Yaha Ramaha Saha Dasharatha Putraha. The one who is Rama is son of Dasharatha, Yaha Saha. Or in other case, Vibhakti also it will come, but yet and Tad will be there. Similarly here also, Ya Jugupsa, Tad Vairagyam. That aversion, Ya Jugupsa Jihasa. Tad Vairagyam. That hatred is called, that aversion is called Vairagyam. So here, Jugupsa is Trilinga and Vairagyam is Napumsakalinga. So how is that? That Acharya gives an example and says, Shaityam hi yatsa prakriti jalasya. Shaityam, yata shaityam sa prakriti jalasya. So here also yata shaityam. Shaityam is shitasya bhavaha, shaityam cold. Shaityam is napumsakalinga. Sa prakritihi. Prakritihi Srilinga. So yata shaityam sa jalasya prakritihi. Sa prakritihi. Prakritihi Srilinga. Tadvat. Similarly here also. So this yata, this from Raghuvamsha. Similarly here also. So it means Acharya says that as in the sentence, so too in this sentence also itivat videya pradhanyat napumsaka nirdeshaha taditi. So there is called in English grammar also we have subject and predicate. Subject and predicate. So subject is called uddeshya and predicate is called videya. Like a Rama goes to the forest. Rama is subject. Goes to the forest, describes what Rama does. Or there could be some description of Rama. Rama is the son of Dasharatha. Rama goes to the forest. So Rama is a subject. Goes to the forest or is son of Dasharatha. It is predicate. Subject predicate. Uddeshya is subject. Subject is described by the predicate. Subject is called Uddeshya. Predicate is called Videya. So therefore, if it is subject predicate, the linga can be different. So here, Ya jugupsa tad vairagyam. So, subject and predicate, they need not be of the same gender. In fact, there are many subhashitams also. The subhashitam Isa, they're also like in the subhashitam. Uh, Satyavachanam, like subhashitam doesn't come to my mind immediately. That we saw in our, it is. So there we have subject and object of different genders. That is the example generally I give in our Vyakaranam class. The subject and predicate can be of different gender. But if a word is an adjective to a word, a substantive, then the gender has to be same vibhakti, same linga, same vachanam. That is the difference between substantive and adjective and subject and predicate. Subject and predicate need not be in the same gender. So therefore, here, yata ya jugupsa tad vairagyam. Same thing here also. In the example shaityam, yata shaityam sa prakritihi. Yeah, that is Subhashitam, I remember. Narasyabaranam rupam, rupasyabaranam gunaha, gunasyabaranam jnanam, jnanasyabaranam kshama. It's a simple Subhashitam. Narasya abaranam rupam. The form is the ornament of Narada, a being, human being. Okay, abaranam and rupam, they are of same gender. What about rupasya abaranam gunaha? Rupasya abaranam gunaha, abaranam napumsakalinga. Gunaha is pullinga. Gunaha means character. Character is the ornament of rupa, a form. Form is the ornament of a being, of a human being, and character is the real ornament of form. So gunaha, that rupasya abharanam. Gunaha subject, which is pullinga. Rupasya abharanam predicate. Abharanam napumsakalinga. The same way here also. So uddeshya and videya. So therefore, videya itivat विधेय प्राधान्यात् नपुंसक निर्देशः तत् इति. So therefore, yata in this drishtanta, yat shaityam napumsakalinga sa prakriti. That is prakriti. That is jalam, the water of the prakriti. The water is cold. That is a sentence. Water is cold. Water subject. It is cold. It's cold. That is a predicate. Therefore, videya is in Napumsakalinga. Similarly, here also, ya jugupsa tad vairagyam. That jugupsa, which is that aversion, that is called vairagyam. Jugupsa, predicate, the subject, uddeshya. Predicate is vairagyam. That is in Napumsakalinga. As in this sentence, so too here also, it is a small but significant grammatical point Acharya mentions. Then further he states, quoting from Tikopanishad and other Prakarana Grantha. स्वदेह स्वदेह शुचिगन्धेन न विरज्यते यः पुमान् वैराग्यकारणं तस्य किमन्यत् उपदिश्यताम्. Simple shloka we can understand. Swadeha ashuchi gandena yaha puman na virajyeta tasya vairagya karanam kim upadishyatam kim kim anyat upadishyatam. If a person is not disgusted with his own body's smell, and that too in this now the summer season, the person is not disgusted with his own bodies, smell, all the nonsense, then for that person, what is the point in talking about the Vairagya? Means one should be disgusted with his own body. It's nothing but a mass of flesh, bones, and muscle, fecal matter. Therefore, have Vairagya for that. Not hatred, be objective. Be objective to the body. Give as much importance. See, in other place we say, Deho Devalaya Proktaha Jivo Brahma Sanatanaha. He consider the body to be the temple. And therefore we worship the body by offering vibhuti, kumkumam, etc., even akshata, etc. We have decorate the body, wear new clothes. That is looking upon the body. Is that the body is entrusted to you, not to your. You are only a trustee. You cannot abuse the body. You have to use the body, but you cannot own the body. Ownership you cannot get. If you are owner, if you are owning, then it will be a wrong notion because it will be taken away from you without your permission one day. You're not, from that way, it's very clear, you're not even you cannot claim the ownership of the body. It is entrusted you for that time being. The time may be 70 years, 80 years, or even 100 years, whatever time. So looking upon that body as body objectively, instead of looking at it objectively, the person has moha for this body, in spite of the body is stinking and has got all the impure things. If one doesn't get vairagya, what to talk, what upadesha can be given to that person? Nothing. No upadesha will work. Tatatam pravagyamane vrishabhai ashvaihi kharai gajair mahishaihi akashtam kshukshamaihi shante no shakyate bhaktum. In Prabodha Sutta Gara, the beautiful Prakana Grantha by Shankaracharya, there he says, always we can see the pravagyamane ki vrishabhaihi, the vrishabha, the bull, which pulls the cart, which is used for pulling the cart, plowing the land, etc. And Ashva, horse, donkeys, karegi, and elephants and buffaloes. All these are poor beings, animals, poor animals, they suffer. They suffer from hunger, they suffer from pain, and they are, even though they are tired, they are made to work. How much kashta, the dukkham, difficulty they have to undergo. They are also jiva. Some karma they have done, and therefore they have taken this form. So we also must have taken this one before, and we may take in future also. We don't know. Depends on what our sanchita is. So looking upon all of them, how much difficulty. Always they undergo some problem. They don't have freedom like what we enjoy. They are made to work for us. It is dukkham. Seeing that one must get vairagya. Tadyata iha karmachito lokaha kshiyate eva mamutra punyajito lokaha kshiyate. This loka, this karma bhumi, this loka here, in this loka, bhuloka, karma, which is gained by the karma pala, which is gained by karma, this karma pala, yeah, karma chittaha lokaha, this loka which is gained by karma, it is kriyate, it is perishes, it goes away in time, this loka. Manushya loka is gained, that Manushya Janma is a mixture of papa and punya. Therefore, some amount of papam, punyam is also required, some papam also. That is a Manushya Janma, mixture of both. So this loka is gained by punyam as well as papam, of course. So punyam is that, but both are punya and papa. They are spent. What we have earned, that we encash it in the form of beings, Manushya here. Or if it is animals, they encash the papam in the form of animals, animal birth. But it is not permanent, it is subject to change. It goes, it is the karma also perishes, karma pala slowly goes away. At one time, this karma pala, this whatever karma pala we have come, once it all exhaust and die again, new janma, that janma depends on our accumulated karma pala, whatever it is, other loka. Applying the same logic, Other loka also, Swarga loka also, which is gained by punya, that are also subject to change. As this loka is gained by karma pala subject to change, so too the other loka which is gained by punya karma, that also subject to change. That also must be subject to change. It cannot be permanent. The Chandogya Upanishad says, Om Naha Anyat Artam, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Other than Om Naha is Brahma. Brahma, which is Brigat, big, which is the biggest, means it is biggest means not in terms of physical size. Brigat, the Brigat is Brigi Vriddho. It is not in terms of size or any other dimension. What is there is only Brahma is Ishvara, Brigat. There is nothing other than Brahma, Brigat. Other than that, everything is Artha means everything is Anartha, useless. Because everything is Brahma. There is nothing other than Brahma. Without Brahma, nothing can exist. That is the truth. The truth is Brahma. So anything other than Brahma is Artham, it is useless, it is inferior. Vedantika Upanishad says. Shine Punya Marte Lokamishati Bhagavad Gita. When the Punya is, when the Punya is, Punya slowly exhausts in Surgaloka. After having gone to Surgaloka because of Punya, whatever we have heard, and after spending that Punya there, spending that Punya means paying that Surgaloka itself is spending Punya. So after spending all the punya, what happens? You become now a pauper, and therefore Martilokam again you have to enter the Bhuloka, Martiloka Vishanti. Brahma Bhavana Loka Punaravartino Jana. It is also Gita. Up to Brahma Loka, all the other lokas, they are subject to return. Up to that Loka, you go and you have to come back. It is means they are not permanent. The Acharya quotes from Upanishad and Smriti, etc. to create Vairagya. Sutta Samhitaya यज्ञवैभवखण्डे सप्तदशोऽध्यायः सप्तदश 17th chapter of the Sutta Samhita Vaibhava it is said there also it is talked about and Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara Sangrastaha, that is another Prakarana Grantha, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Sara Sangraha written by Shankaracharya. There it is said Ukshau Swamatuhu Malamutra Matye Ityadina, that is in the womb of the Swamatuhu, one's mother. How an infant was there, was in the midst of mala, fecal matter, and mutra, urine. So all this you have passed through. So thinking that one shouldn't have vairagya, must have vairagya. Punyakshaye punyakrito navastaihi nipatyamana shitili kritangan nakshatra rupena divashutan vicharyako va viratim nayati. So punyakshaye punyakrita. When the punya is shaya, when it is exhausted, then punya kritaha, what happened to the one who does punya? He falls down from the sky. It is how in the Puranas it is said. Nipatyamana falls from the heaven. Sky means heaven. Sky, it is given, it means from the other loka, he falls down. Shitali krita anga. He falls down from the other loka. And all the limbs, Shitalikata, his limbs and all becoming very weak, he just falls down. It means all punyas are gone, therefore now he is a pauper, doesn't have anything, therefore he is weak. Shitalikata is completely disintegrated, he falls down. How Nakshatra Rupen in the form of stars. That is how it's in Purana. Just like the stars, they fall down. Divaha, Chutan. So he falls down to this loka. Vicharya, having done Vicharya, Kaha Viratim Nayati, who will not get dispassion by seeing Yada Punyam समाप्तं भवति तदा किं भवति? पुण्यकर्तारः स्वर्गात् पतति अथवा देवाः पातयन्ति. देवाः, they push you the get out from here, your punyas are gone. Therefore what happened to that person? Tasya angani shitilani bhavanti, loses strength, and therefore nakshatra rupena swargat bhumo patati, he falls on the bhuloka. Therefore punyavantaha bhulokam patanti, having seen falling into bhuloka, the samsara. Why not in your tava manasi kimartam vairagyam na utpatyate? All that vairagya, having vichara, after having done vichara, vairagya has not come to you. Iti Acharya says. The next two paragraphs is that only will see. Can see the next ones. Om Purnamadah Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Dhanyawad.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಶರಣ್ಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ
ಜಿ.
ಗುರುಜಿ.